Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
What am I drink? What am I think? You're listening to Popeye News Links. This is the Admiral Tibet who I represent, and remember, the time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. This is Popeye News Links.
Greetings viewers and subscribers. In today's journey, we are about to leave Hope Bay in Portland. And let me tell you something. I am going to be taking my own little time on this journey. It's not about when we reach, it's about how we reach. So, here what? If you go quarrel and say, the one Popeye, I drive too slow, come out of the vehicle from now because I know, press button. I'm not gonna make because me go drive fast and get a speeding ticket down the road. So, if you decide on continuing this journey with me, sit back and KYAQ. You know what KYAQ mean? You don't? Okay, I'm gonna assist you with 3 of the letters. K is for keep. Y is for yo. Q is for quiet. You know what the A stands for? You don't? Guess what? No. Guess what? I have a very weird sense of humor. So, please, bear with me. It might sound sometimes like I am being disrespectful, but you know what them say? Joke better than quarrel. So, KYAQ. In the news today, we have a whole heap of stories for you. In this first story, I had promised to update this one, so here goes. That young man on your screen, his name is Juneay Mckoy, but he was popularly known as Junior. Junior was born on April 15, 2005, 18 years old, and he's from Robbins Hall in the Christiana area of Manchester. We are told that Junior, he was in the Big Bridge area of Westmoreland doing construction work. Late Monday afternoon, November 20, Junior and one of his cousins, who is almost 18 years old, and he's also living in the Christiana area of Manchester. The 2 of them and another man, they went for a swim in the Cabarita River in the Big Bridge area. They were all near to the riverbank. It is said that Junior, he went out near to the center of the river. He was swept underwater by a swift current. An alarm was raised and a search was conducted by members of the community, but Junior, he was not found. On Wednesday afternoon, November 22, about some minutes to 3 o'clock, members of the community, they went in search of Junior. He was found in the Cabarita River, about 500 meters from the Big Bridge. Sad indeed. Over at West End in Negril, remember that man named Paul Norris. He is 32 years old and he lived at Park Avenue in the St. Anne's Bay area of St. Anne. On Sunday morning, November 19, about 10 o'clock, Paul and his girlfriend, they were taking photos near to the cliff when she fell in the water. Paul, in trying to save his girlfriend's life, he jumped into the water, but he was swept away by the strong current. His girlfriend was eventually saved. Up to this morning, we made checks, and the body of Paul Norris was still not found. Sad indeed. This next incident, it took place early Sunday morning, November 5, about 6:30. It took place right in front of the Negril Bus Park supermarket on Namprel Road in Negril in the parish of Westmoreland. Our information is that a man, his name is Mr. Winston Churchill Lindsay. He was born on September 8, 1961, 62 years old, and he was a taxi driver. Mr. Lindsay, he lived at Springvale in the Sheffield area of Westmoreland. So if you look on your screen, there is where this accident took place. Mr. Winston Lindsay, he was driving a white 2010 Toyota Wish motor car. He was traveling from Sheffield direction. If you know that area, you would have known that the bus park is on the left and the supermarket is on the right. We are told that Winston, the taxi driver, he turned right towards the supermarket. A white 2012 Toyota Axio motor car being driven by a 22-year-old guy from a Negril address. He was coming in the opposite direction. Now, as a result of the Toyota Axio traveling too fast and the driver for the Toyota Wish making a dangerous drive, both vehicles collided head-on. There is a photo of what's left of the Toyota Axio on your screen. As a result of this collision, a 17-year-old female who was a passenger in the Toyota Axio and both drivers, they were seriously injured. If you look on your screen now, there is a photo of the Toyota Wish. The persons were rushed to the Savannah Lamar Hospital, but Mr. Winston Lindsay, the taxi driver, he was later transferred to the Falmouth General Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries last week, Wednesday morning, November 15. Sad indeed. In this next story, we are learning that for a while now, some guys in the Freeman's Hall area of Trelawney, they have been involved in a bitter feud. One of them is called KlLLED. He's about 30 years old. It is said that KlLLED, he has been involved in a conflict with at least two guys. One of them is Orville Clarke, but he's also known as Bigga. Bigga is 29 years old, and the other guy, he's known as Dodo. Dodo is said to be in his late 20s. The allegations are that on Tuesday afternoon, November 21, about 3:30, KlLLED and his girlfriend, they were walking home. They were on the Freeman's Hall main road when they saw Dodo and Bigga running towards them with machetes in their hands. It is alleged that KlLLED, he ran off, and Dodo and Bigga, they started raining some serious blows on his girlfriend. It is further alleged that KlLLED, he returned to assist his girlfriend when Bigga allegedly slapped him with the machete to his back and his face. It is further alleged that Dodo, he then used the machete to chop KlLLED on one of his hands, almost chopping it off. Both guys, they then ran away. KlLLED, he was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was treated and admitted. We are told that Bigga, he has since given himself up to the police and he has been charged for the offense of wounding with intent. So he'll be going to the courts shortly. Dodo, you are wanted. So by now, you would have seen that video. That video is of an incident that the aftermath of an incident that took place at the National Commercial Bank, West Trade Way in Portmore, in the parish of St. Catherine. It took place yesterday morning, Thursday, November 23, about 10:30. So this is what we are learning took place. Persons were standing in line, waiting to use one of the ATMs at the bank when a Beryllium Security Company armored truck drove up. Security officers, to include one in his late 20s, came out of the truck. He was armed with a revolver and a shotgun. That security officer, we are told that he stood guard to the right of the entrance door leading to the area where the ATM machines are installed. Whilst he was standing at the door, the shotgun, it somehow became entangled with his ballistic vest and the .38 revolver. The security officer, in trying to clear the entangled gun, he released the grip from the shotgun, which fell to the ground. Bam! One round was discharged from the shotgun. Now, let me teach you something. if you look on your screen, those are discharged shotgun rounds, and those are pellets from the rounds. So, as you can see, a lot of pellets is in a shotgun shell, sometimes over 100. As a result, 4 persons were injured from that one shotgun round. They are 1. A 20-year-old female police officer. She received injuries to her left shoulder. A 50-year-old electrician. He received injuries to his left leg and the right side of his hip. A 36-year-old teacher. She received injuries to her left ankle, and a 34-year-old bartender. She received injuries to her left leg. They were taken to medical facilities where they were treated and released. We are told that none of the injuries are life-threatening. Ah boy. Now, in this next story, I carried a story on Friday, November 10. It was about the killing of that man who is beside his wife. His name is Marlon Warmington, but he was popularly known as Warmi. Warmi was born on September 12, 1978, 45 years old, and he's from the 6 Miles area of Bartons in the Old Harbour area of St. Catherine. But for the past 10 years, Warmi, he has been living in Florida in the United States of America. We are told that Warmi, he was visiting Jamaica for a short while, and on the night of Thursday, November 9, he was walking along the roadway when 2 hoodlums on a red motorcycle shot and killed him. Warmi, he was not robbed. This was clearly a hit, and persons in the area, they are convinced that someone very, very close to Warmi may have set this up. They are convinced that Warmi, he was killed for his property and insurance money. Are you following me? So, like I had reported, shortly after the hoodlums killed Warmi, the police, acting on intelligence, they intercepted the 2 hoodlums on the PJ Patterson Highway, right in the vicinity of Sharper Lane. A shootout ensued, and one of the hoodlums, he was shot and killed, and a gun seized. The other hoodlum, he escaped. The police, they also seized the bike that the hoodlums were traveling on. Like I had said in that video, the police, they knew exactly who the next hoodlum was, and they were searching for him. Well, that hoodlum is now in police custody. He was picked up by the police. His name is Keemo Duncan, but he's popularly known as BryanBwoi. BryanBwoi is 28 years old, and he's living at Portland Avenue in the Kingston 11 area. The police, they have charged BryanBwoi for shooting at them, and we are told that in the coming days, he'll be charged for murder. The mayhem. In this next story, a guy named Ackeem Robinson. He was born on December 6, 1989, 34 years old, and he was a vendor. Ackeem is from Burn Savannah in the parish of St. Elizabeth. For years, Ackeem, he has been selling at the same spot on Fosdick Road in Montego Bay in the parish of St. James. If you should go to the Fosdick Road area and ask anyone about Ackeem, they are going to be telling you the same thing. Ackeem was a well-known weed man, and for many years, he has been selling weed at the same spot. We are told that recently, Ackeem, he purchased a top-of-the-line BMW motor car, but he did not get a chance to enjoy driving in it because yesterday afternoon, Thursday, November 23, about minutes after 2 o'clock, Ackeem, he was sitting along the roadway at Fosdick Road, at a spot where he has been sitting for many, many years, when a motorcycle with 2 hoodlums aboard drove up and stopped. One of the hoodlums, he came off the bike and everyone around Ackeem, they thought he was going to buy weed. But the hoodlum, he pulled a gun and pointed it at Ackeem. A struggle ensued between Ackeem and the hoodlum, but the hoodlum, he had the upper hand. He opened gunfire, hitting Ackeem in his head. He then jumped back onto the bike and he and his crony, they made good their escape. Persons in the area, they rushed with Ackeem to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he was rushed into surgery. But a few minutes after 3 o'clock, Ackeem, he succumbed to his injuries. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 2 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. So, hoodlums killed a weed vendor in Montego Bay, but over in the parish of Westmoreland, hoodlums killed a hard-working weed farmer. But before I tell you about that incident, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. As also, hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you'll be one of the first to be notified. And before I started recording this video, I've received information that 2 guys, to include a taxi driver, they were shot at Green Island in the parish of Hanover about minutes to 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'm told that one of the guys died on the spot and the other one, he was rushed to hospital in a serious condition. In a subsequent video, I'm going to be giving you the full details. Stand by for that. But in the final story for today, a man, he's called Dread. Dread is about 60 years old. I'm not here promoting anything, I'm not here promoting anything. But truth be told, Dread is a hard-working weed farmer living at a place named Overland at Long Hill in the White House area of Westmoreland. We are told that within the past 2 weeks, Dread, he sold almost 2 million Jamaican dollars worth of ganja. Somebody close to Dread, maybe even someone who might have worked for him, they knew that Dread sell a whole heap of weed and they teamed up with other hoodlums to rob him. Early this morning, Friday, November 24, about 1:30, Dread and his brother, they were at home. His brother's name is Mr. Rohan Samuels, but he's popularly known as Shirley. Shirley is 63 years old, and we are also told that Shirley, he was a hard-working weed farmer. They were at home when they heard knocking on their door. They also heard voices outside shouting, "Police! Open the door." Shirley, he got up, opened the door and made checks. He was confronted by 5 hoodlums armed with guns and knives. The hoodlums, they entered the house and asked Dread, "Where's the money and the ganja?" One of the hoodlums, he then took cash amounting to almost 1 million Jamaican dollars that Dread had in a clothes basket. But the hoodlums, they were still not satisfied. They wanted more money, and Dread told them that he didn't have any more. One of the hoodlums, he used a knife to stab Dread to his left shoulder. Dread, he saw an escape and he ran out of the house. The hoodlums, they opened gunfire at him, but luckily, he was not hit. Dread, he went and hid in some bushes in the dark, and the hoodlums, they then opened gunfire, hitting 63-year-old Shirley. They then made good their escape. The police, they were called, and on their arrival, Shirley, he was seen lying on the floor with gunshot wounds to his head. He appeared to have died on the spot. Dread, he was taken to a nearby hospital where he was treated and admitted. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, a number of 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. Not even the weed farmer or the weed vendor is safe in Jamaica. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them knock out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane. Everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when me turn. Country and town, man a pay blood a run. Murder, don't you baby me hear them a murder. Cut it out, tell them no gonna further. Man a dead like cans and bird, yeah. Who no listen them a word, yeah.